first topic of the day, simple present versus present continuous. First, whenever we're learning about a tense, a verb tense, we have to learn what it's for. That means you have to know when you're going to use each one of these verb tenses, okay? So, simple present. Let's talk about simple present first, okay? We use simple present to describe routines or present day situations. A gente sempre vai usar o simple present quando a gente quer descrever alguma rotina, alguma coisa que acontece constantemente no nosso dia a dia, ou então alguma coisa que acontece no presente em geral. Okay, that's why you use simple present. Okay, let's talk about structure now. The simple present has the simplest structure ever, okay? So you have a subject, you have the verb, and you have the complement. Every single time that we're gonna talk about verb tenses, you have to look at the verb, okay? What is gonna change in the sentence is the verb. So you have to look at it, and then you're gonna flex it, or you're gonna conjugate it according to the subject. You always have to change the verb, okay? So in the simple present, you have this rule. When you have I, you, we, they, the verb is not going to change anything. So you say, I love movies. You love movies. They love movies. We love movies. The verb is not going to change. You're just going to take off the to. So the verb is to love, and then you cut out the to, and then you say just love. Então, só para ficar claro em português, gente, a estrutura do simple present, ela é desse jeito aqui, sujeito, verbo, complemento. O que a gente vai sempre olhar, sempre priorizar no tempo verbal é o verbo, certo? Então, no simple present, o verbo, ele é simples, já tá no nome. Ele não vai mudar. Você não vai conjugar, você não vai fazer nada. Você vai deixar o verbo do jeito que ele é. Então, se o verbo é take, vai ficar take. Se o verbo é work, vai ficar work, certo? Você não muda. Só quando for esses sujeitos aqui. I, you, we, they. Combinado? Now, when you have these subjects, he, she, or it, you're gonna change something in the verb, okay? Only if you have these subjects, he, she, it, you have to change the verb. Okay, how are you gonna change the verb? You're gonna add an S to the verb. So, I say, I love, you love, she loves, he loves, they love, it loves. That's how the verb's gonna change. Esse S no final, pessoas, não muda a tradução do verbo, tá? Vai continuar sendo ela ama, ele ama, e it loves, né? Esse S no final, ele é só para dizer que o sujeito é diferente, que o sujeito é ele, ela, ou coisas e animais, usando it, né? Esse verbo, esse Szinho no final, ele serve só para isso, certo? E ele só vai aparecer no verbo se o sujeito for he, she ou it. Não se esqueçam disso. Então, I love, you love, he loves, she loves, it loves, we love, they love. Okay, let's talk about exceptions, okay? When you have he, she, it, the verb is gonna change. Now, most verbs, you're just gonna add the S. But there are a few exceptions I'm going to explain now. If the verb ends in these letters, you have to put ES, okay? So, go, for example, you say goes, okay? Fix, you say fixes. Kiss, you say kisses, okay? This is one exception. Exception number 2. If the verb ends in a consonant plus Y, you have to cut the Y and add IES, okay? IES. For example, study, consonant plus Y. You cut the Y and then you add I-E-S. Studies, okay? He studies, she studies. Exception number 3. If the verb ends in vowel plus Y, you just have to add the S, okay? For example, play ends in vowel plus Y. You just have to add the S. Plays. She plays, he plays, it plays, okay? Just remember, these rules are only for when the verb is to he, she, or it. Só recapitulando. Quando o sujeito for I, you, we, they, o verbo continua normal, não precisa mudar nada no verbo. Se o sujeito for he, she ou it, você precisa mudar alguma coisa no verbo, vai depender sempre da terminação desse verbo, certo? A maioria dos verbos termina com S no final, mas aí você tem que prestar atenção nessas pequenas regrinhas que eu passei pra vocês, tá? Só pra na hora de escrever. Na hora da pronúncia, você vai pronunciar com S normal, só que na hora de escrever, você precisa prestar atenção nessa ortografia, certo? Pra não vacilar na prova. Now, how do you ask questions and how do you make negative sentences in the simple present? You have to use do or does, depending on the subject. So when you have I, you, we, they, you use do. When you have he, she, or it, you use does. Now let's see. To ask a question in simple present, you have to put do or does in front of the subject. That's it. Do you want to go out? So you have do and then the subject, okay? Does she want to go out? You have the verb first and then you have the subject, okay? When you want to say a negative sentence, you use the same verb for the same subject, do or does, plus not. That is, do not, does not. So, I do not want to go out. She does not want to go out. You can abbreviate, you can say I don't, you can say she doesn't. That's okay too. If you want to write that on the test, that's okay. This is correct. Now pay attention. Every single time you're using does on the sentence, the main verb comes back to normal. So, in the first sentence I said, she wants to go out, okay? With the S. When you have does in a question or does in a negative sentence, you don't have to put the S, okay? You take out the S. If it's on the sentence, you don't need the S, okay? Do you understand that? Vou explicar em português para ver se fica mais claro. Toda vez que o does estiver na frase, essa flexão do verbo do S que eu expliquei para vocês lá no começo, ela não precisa existir, certo? Você vai tirar esse S. É uma regra, não sei por que isso acontece, mas acontece. Então você não precisa falar does she wants to go out. Isso está errado. Você vai tirar o S sempre. O S é só na frase afirmativa. E só quando for he, she ou it. Certo?